Hey everyone, today we're going to cover the installation process for a double turnbuckle zipline kit. A double turnbuckle setup will include 2 cable slings, 2 turnbuckles, a main length of cable with a loop on one end, cable clamps and a thimble for terminating the second end, and 2 turnbuckle backup kits. Step 1. Setting up the tree saver kit. If you are attaching your zipline to a live tree, you will want to start by installing a tree saver kit. A tree saver kit includes a number of grooved nylon blocks for placing between the zipline cable and the surface of your tree trunk. This spreads the pressure of the cable to a larger area and creates no contact zones where nutrients and water can pass through the cambium layer of the tree unobstructed. A cam strap is also included to hold the blocks in place during the installation. To begin, thread the cam strap through each block as shown. Next, wrap the loaded cam strap around the tree near the desired anchor height, and pass the end of the strap back through the cam to complete the loop around the tree. Take out most of the slack, but leave just enough to allow for easy repositioning of the blocks. When the strap is positioned around the tree at the desired height, you will finish the process by evenly distributing the blocks around the back 3/4 or so of the trunk and tighten the strap completely. Once the tree saver kits have been installed at both ends of the zipline, you are ready to proceed with the cable installation. Step 2. Prepping the hardware. Start by removing the packaging and laying out your hardware. Each end of your zipline will have a cable sling wrapped around the anchor and tied into a turnbuckle. When assembling the turnbuckles, note that the ends of a turnbuckle are threaded in opposite directions, so be sure to match the direction of the rod threads to the internal threads of the body. These are typically indicated by an R for right hand thread and an L for left hand. Prior to installation, the rods should be threaded in about an inch past the threads of the body. Each turnbuckle will also have a backup installed, utilizing 4 cable clamps and a short length of cable. To prep for rigging, unspool the main cable across the entire span of the zipline. Spools and coils of cable should be rolled out to avoid twisting and creating kinks in the cable. Step 3. Setting up the first cable sling anchor. To set up your first cable sling, wrap it around the anchor and tie both end loops into one end of a turnbuckle. Then reinstall and secure the pin. Then, connect your main line to the opposite jaw of the turnbuckle, installing and securing the pin as before. Step 4. Hanging the cable. At this point, the first anchor is complete and the main cable can be pulled into position using a tensioning kit. To set up the tensioning kit, wrap the lanyard around your second anchor a few inches above where your cable will be attached and tie both end loops into the winch hook. Before we proceed, some accessories, including springs, stock blocks, and some trolleys, are difficult or impossible to install once the cable is up, so take a moment to put these on the cable while it's on the ground. Make sure the orientation of each piece is correct, but don't worry about positioning them until later. When the cable is ready to go up, open up the jaws of the cable grab and place the cable into the grab channel. Allow the grab to close down on the cable and flip the retainer back into place. Slide the cable through the grab, removing as much slack as possible by hand before cranking on the ratchet. Step 5. Setting up the second cable sling anchor. With the cable held in place by the tensioner, wrap the second cable sling around the anchor and tie it into the second turnbuckle just like the previous anchor. Install the cable thimble into the opposite end of the turnbuckle and terminate the main line to the thimble using 3 cable clamps, removing as much slack as possible in the process. Be sure to position the clamp so that the saddles are pressed against a live or weight-bearing cable, and the U-bolts are against the dead or turned back portion of the cable. Step 6. Releasing the tensioning kit. The tensioner winch has a directional switch that can be adjusted between up, neutral, or down. Once the main line has been terminated by the second anchor, the tensioning kit may be released by putting the switch into the down position and cranking the handle in reverse to spool the winch cable back out. Once tension has been released, the cable grab can be opened up and removed from the line. This is a good time to fully tighten the cable clamps. Step 7. Taking up the slack. Removing the tensioning kit will introduce some slack back into the cable, but this can easily be removed by adjusting the turnbuckles. There is no minimum amount of tension required, but the cables should be checked at the low point with the heaviest intended rider to make sure they will be held clear of the ground. Step 8. Tuning and cleanup. Once the cable has been tightened, a turnbuckle backup kit should be installed. A short length of cable is passed through the cable loops, or the jaws if space is limited, on each end of the turnbuckle and spliced into a continuous loop using 4 cable clamps. Clamp orientation follows the same logic with U-bolts against the dead cable and saddles against the live cable. However, in the case of a splice, there will be 2 clamps in each direction. Accessories may now be installed or repositioned on the cable to their specified locations. At this point, your zipline assembly is complete. Follow the weight and speed testing steps in your manual to ensure the endpoints are secure and the rider speeds are acceptable for whatever braking method is in place. Adjustments to the endpoints can be made by relieving tension with a turnbuckle and tapping the tree saver blocks up or down with a rubber mallet. For a cleaner look, the cam straps may be removed from the tree saver blocks, and extra cable may be cut off or coiled up and zip tied out of the way. If you have any questions about this process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via our website or call us directly at 888-476-3701. You can also find lots of helpful articles about all of the topics covered in this video on the how-to section of our website.